Right, g'day guys, Klint here for dropshipdownunder.com.au. Today I'm going to be talking about how much your dropshipping store is worth and basically what you can expect to sell it for, and if you decided to, and sort of how to value it as well. Okay, so with that, let's get cracking. Alright, so let's get started. Basically, to work out what your dropship store is worth, I sort of break it down. I've sold multiple dropshipping stores, over 35 as it happens, and I've sold them in all of these different categories that I'm going to go into right now. But first of all, we start with the store. I'll just look at my notes quickly. We start with the stores that sort of have, you've built up your store. You've got some suppliers on, but you haven't made any sales, and you decided to move on from that niche or dropshipping altogether, or whatever you've decided to do, or it's an unfinished sort of project and you don't have time to do it now, or you've got too many stores, a bit like I do, and I flip them on because I just keep my team working, right? So let's start with that one. I've got four different sort of levels of what your store will be worth. So firstly, if you don't have any sales and you put a ton of work in it, you've got a really nice looking site, it's a good niche, solid niche. You won't sell it if it's a rubbish niche, but yeah, solid niche, and a few suppliers on board. You can expect for someone to pay between $1,000 to $2,000 for that, especially if they're into the niche. Just because it saves them a whole heap of time. The suppliers are onboarded, the site's done and dusted, you've uploaded all the products, everything's looking good. You really don't need to, they can just hand it off and get to work kind of thing, you know what I mean? So you can expect to get around, $1,000 to $2,000 for a site like that, okay? Site number, now if your site's been around for a little bit, it's up, you've had it running, say 3 to 6 months, and you've got a bit of sales history. So the way you work this out is you usually work on your net average of the months. Okay, so for example, if you've had that store up and running for say 6 months, and the net average, and we'll just use a nice round number like $1,000, right? You're doing $1,000 a month, and for the past 6 months, you can expect to sell it for between 3 and 5 times that monthly average. Okay, so it may be worth up to $5,000. Between 3 and 5 grand, you can expect to get for a store like that. It's up and running. There's some proven sales history, and they're quite desirable stores because they're up and running. The niche is proven, and people like to snap those up and optimize them and take them to the next level. The hard work's been done, the graft's been done, the grind's been done. And people tend to snap those nice cheap ones up like that. I mean, seriously. So if you're doing those kind of numbers, and you wanted to flip your store, you could with relative ease. The next level really is between 6 and 12 months. Again, it's the net average of what you've done each month. So again, use $1,000 per month as an example. You can expect to sell that store for between 5 and 10 times what you're doing. In your net average. So, between $5,000 to $10,000, you can expect to sell that store. You might have done a whole heap of SEO work. You might have got built big Facebook groups around it. You might have a decent blog going. You've got a whole heap more content marketing. So again, that adds to the value of the store. You might have started to build a decent list between 6 and 12 months. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've sold stores in that range, 3 or 4 stores within that range, and again, people like to take those on because they like the head start. Okay, they like to get to. They don't want to put the initial grind in. They want a proven store that they can optimize and take to the next level. Okay, so they're very popular and they sell really well. The next one is 12 months and over. And now this is where you really want to get your store to. 2-3 years in, really build a real decent store. And this is sort of more of an exit strategy. You want to get your store to 12 to 15 months of ongoing really good sales proof and evidence. And then you can get between 20 and 30x, right? what you sell, what you're doing a month. Okay, so example, we use $1,000 again. If you've done $1,000 every month on average across 12 to 15 months, you can expect to make 20 to 30 grand. So you think about that for a second. Over 12 months, and you've built this store up to a decent level, and it's doing say $4 grand a month. You know, you're looking at some decent coin. Yeah. So you follow what I'm saying there, guys. But again. And I'll just throw a little shout out to one of the guys that I sold my stores through at this level, you know, the 12-month to 15-month level. We sold it through empireflippers.com. They hooked us up. They won't take any of these smaller ones. You've got to have at least 12 months history. You know, probably up to 15 months really. They really want to see some decent history behind you. But, you know, they'll broker your site for you. So if you're trying to sell your store, if it's doing $4,000 a month and you're trying to sell your store, at whatever that is, 80 grand or 100 grand, they'll do the brokerage. I think it's 15% they take off the top, but whatever. They've got a big network of you know, real deal buyers, and yeah, you can sell it for, you know, 20 to 30x of what you're doing per month. So you can build up these digital assets. I call them digital assets. I mean, once you build those businesses up, these are worth some real coin, real money, not just you know. Everyone thinks dropshipping's a little bit small and all the rest of it, and that's kind of why I stick to my business model, where we only build high quality websites, high quality suppliers, high quality products, and high ticket items as well. Okay, I'll get into that heaps of times before, but that's why we do what we do, because we build real businesses, real relationships, and at the end of it, you know, after even up to 6 months, you can still make a decent profit, guys. You know, a really decent exit. You know, if you weren't loving that store and you're in 6 months in, 6 to 12 months in, and you sell it for 10 times what you're averaging, you know, you've made a quick 10 grand and you move on to the next project. So anyway, I could talk about this kind of thing all day. This just gives you an overview of what your site's worth and how to value them. So with that, if you want to find out how to get started, guys, so you haven't even got started and you're getting excited about, you know, all this, check out dropshipdownunder.com.au. That's basically the course we've developed for fellow Aussies to learn how to do what we do. Tons of info there, and yeah, go check it out. Dropshipdownunder.com.au. And that's about it, guys. If you like the vid, you got something out of it, give me a thumbs up and leave any comments or questions below. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, and that's it. Until next time, keep living the dream. And we'll talk again next time. Cheers.